My phone buzzed at 9:30 on a Tuesday morning. Instagram notification. My parents had commented on my post. Nice Bentley. I stared at those two words for a full minute. 6 months earlier, those same people couldn't be bothered to show up to my wedding. 2 empty seats in the front row. No call, no apology. Just a text that said, "We'll be traveling. Congrats." But now? Now they had time to scroll through my feed and drop emojis on a car. The hypocrisy didn't just sting, it burned. What do you do when the people who couldn't show up for your vows suddenly want a front row seat to your success? I'll tell you what I did. I opened my laptop and did something I never thought I'd do. I sent them a bill. Before we get into it, drop your time zone below and let me know what time it is where you are. And if this story sounds even a little familiar, go ahead and hit subscribe. You're going to want to hear how this ends. Let me take you back. I grew up in a house where love had terms and conditions. Good grades, hugs and bragging at dinner parties. Bad haircut or a B-, radio silence for weeks. I learned early that affection wasn't free. You had to earn it. Every single time, so I did. I worked my tail off. Full ride to college, internships, 80-hour weeks in tech consulting. I had a mentor who believed in me when my own parents didn't. He fronted me $3,000 when I needed a laptop for my first major client pitch. I paid him back in 60 days. That client turned into 12 more. By 29, I was a VP. When I got engaged, I thought, maybe, just maybe, this would be different. I sent the wedding invitations 8 months in advance. Beautiful custom cardstock. A personal note inside theirs. They opened the digital RSVP 11 times. I could see the log. 11 times over 3 months. Then, 72 hours before the ceremony, I got a text. "We'll be traveling. Congrats." No phone call. No explanation, just that. I married the love of my life anyway. My best friend walked me down the aisle. Our chosen family filled every seat. It was perfect. And it was the saddest day of my life. That afternoon, my parents posted vacation selfies from Cancun. Hashtags and all. I'm the kind of person who keeps records. Every email, every text, every receipt. Call it a survival instinct. For 6 months, I said nothing. I healed. I built my life. Then that Bentley comment landed, and everything shifted. 3 days after the Bentley comment, my phone lit up again. Group text. Mom and Dad. "We'd love to come visit and see the new place. Your mother really misses you. We could do a family photo shoot. Your car would look amazing in the background. Perfect for our holiday card this year." I read it twice. They wanted to use my car as a prop. I typed back one sentence. "You didn't come to my wedding." The dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Then my phone rang. My mother's voice, tight and sweet. "Sweetheart, you're being so dramatic." We explained. We had plans. "You chose a vacation over my wedding. That's not fair. You know how hard it is for us. We needed that trip." I stayed silent. Then she shifted gears. "Actually, since we're talking, your father and I are in a little bit of a situation. We're just short this month. $15,000 would really help us avoid some embarrassment." $15,000 dropped into the conversation like it was nothing. I could hear my father in the background. "After everything we did for you." I felt my jaw tighten. "I need to think about it. We need an answer by Friday. Family helps family, honey, or everyone's going to know how selfish you've become." She hung up. I sat there staring at my phone, shaking. By Thursday, my parents had gone nuclear. They posted on Facebook. Vague. Martyred. Some children forget where they came from. Praying for softer hearts. Within an hour, my phone was flooded. Aunts, cousins, people I hadn't spoken to in years. "What happened? Are you okay? Your mom seems really hurt." My spouse's parents texted, asking if everything was all right. Then came the worst part. A client mentioned it, carefully, awkwardly. "Saw some family stuff online. Hope you're hanging in there." My professional network was seeing this. I felt the walls closing in. That night, my spouse offered to just pay the $15,000. "Let's make it stop." I almost said yes. I opened my banking app, stared at the transfer screen. My finger hovered over the button. Then I thought about the wedding. The invoice I paid, alone, in full. The vendor minimums I had to cover when the head count dropped. The friend who flew in last minute to walk me down the aisle. I closed the app. I opened my files instead. I had every receipt. Every single one. And suddenly I realized something. I didn't owe them money. They owed me. I started with the wedding. I pulled the RSVP portal analytics. The service I used tracked everything. My parents had opened that invitation 11 times between October and March. 11 times. They looked at the date, the venue, the schedule, over and over, but they never clicked attending. On April 11th, 72 hours before the ceremony, my mother sent the text. We'll be traveling. Congrats. Timestamp 11:43 p.m. Casual. No apology. No call. I cross-referenced it with their Instagram. They booked the Cancun trip on April 10th. 4 days before my wedding. The dates were right there. Geotags, hashtags, smiling photos by the pool. April 14th. The same day I got married. It wasn't a scheduling conflict. It was a choice. I sat back and stared at the screen. My spouse looked over my shoulder. They chose a vacation over you. I nodded, but that was just the surface. I started digging deeper, and what I found made my hands shake. Friday came and went. I didn't send the money. My parents escalated. Monday morning, my office receptionist pulled me aside. Hey, just a heads up. Someone called yesterday. A woman, crying, saying she was your mom and that you'd cut her off. I didn't know if it was real, so I just took a message. My stomach dropped. She called my workplace. That afternoon, an uncle forwarded me an email. Subject line, the truth about my daughter. My father had written a full paragraph. Sent it to mutual friends, family, colleagues. We gave her everything. Put her through school. Supported her dreams. Now that she's successful, she's frozen us out. Some children only love you when you're useful. We just wanted to be part of her life. Now we're asking for a little help and she's turned her back. It breaks our hearts. Every word was a lie. I never asked them for a dime after 18. They didn't pay for college. They didn't co-sign loans. And now they were rewriting history. My phone buzzed. A voicemail from my mother. We'll file for grandparent rights if we have to. Don't test us. I didn't have children. It didn't matter. The threat was clear. My spouse read the email over my shoulder. This is unhinged. I looked at them. Yeah, and I'm done playing defense. They wanted to play the victim? Fine. But I had 12 years of scorecards. And they didn't know I'd kept every single one. I opened a folder on my desktop, labeled Family Evidence. 247 screenshots, sorted by year. I started scrolling. 2012. Congrats on the promotion. So proud. 2013. I was hospitalized for 3 days. Not a single text. 2015. VP already? You're amazing. 2016. I lost my mentor. Radio silence. Over and over. The same pattern. They showed up for milestones, titles, wins they could brag about. They vanished for everything else. I pulled the stats. 89% of their messages to me over 12 years were tied to career moves. 0% during personal crises. Then I found the voicemail. 3 years old. I'd saved it and forgotten about it. My mother's voice, laughing, tipsy at a party, talking to a friend in the background. Honestly, I only call her when she's doing something I can brag about. Laughter, I played it for my spouse. They looked at me, eyes wide. You've been carrying this alone? I nodded. I finally understood. It was never about love. It was about optics. And now I knew exactly what to do. 2 days later, a cousin reached out. Apologetic. Hey, I need to tell you something. Your mom asked me to co-sign a loan last week. She said you'd be helping them soon, and they just needed a bridge. I said no, but I thought you should know. I thanked her. Then I started digging. Public records, social media, reverse image searches. Those vacation photos, discount travel packages, Influencer freebies, all smoke and mirrors. The traveling lifestyle they posted about was funded entirely by credit cards. My cousin sent me a screenshot of the loan request. $87,000 in unsecured debt. Minimum payments 3 months behind. They were drowning. Then I checked my father's LinkedIn. Updated the same day I posted the Bentley photo. New line in his bio. Proud father of my name, VP at company name. He'd never mentioned me before. Not once in 15 years on that platform. I leaned back. The whole picture came into focus. They didn't want me. They wanted my balance sheet. When I went viral in local business circles, they saw a lifeline, a PR opportunity. If they could be seen as the supportive family behind my success, they could rebuild their image. Open more asks. I wasn't their child. I was their exit strategy. So I built one of my own. I made 2 calls. First, a family law attorney who specialized in estrangement and harassment. She listened, took notes. Then she said something that changed everything. You're within your rights to set boundaries and document harm. If you want to formalize it, we can draft a cease and desist. It's not about punishment. It's about protection. Second call, a therapist who worked with adults navigating family estrangement. He reframed it for me. This isn't revenge. It's accountability. That word landed. Accountability. I sat down and built a document. An itemized invoice. Line 1. Vendor minimums triggered by last-minute headcount reduction. $2,400. Line 2. Last-minute flight for a friend to walk me down the aisle. $860. Line 3. 6 months of therapy to process parental absence and harassment. $4,200. 22 line items. All receipts attached. Total. $22,340. I wrote a cover letter. 1 sentence. You asked what you're owed. Here's what I paid alone. I didn't want their money. I wanted a mirror. I saved the file. Printed 2 copies. I didn't hit send yet. I wanted to do this right, publicly, cleanly, and only once. I didn't have to wait long. The following Saturday, my parents showed up at my house, unannounced. My uncle was with them. As a witness. My mother's eyes were already wet. We just want our child back. Can we please come in and talk? I opened the door. We sat in the living room. My spouse stood beside me. I slid a folder across the coffee table. You'll want to read this. My father opened it. His face went from confused to red in about 5 seconds. What the hell is this? That's a cease and desist for workplace and social harassment. And an invoice. My mother's voice cracked. This is insane. You can't bill your own parents. You're right. I'm not asking you to pay it, but you are going to read it. She started to cry, performative, loud. My uncle shifted uncomfortably. I pulled out my phone, opened the voicemail, hit play. My mother's voice filled the room. Honestly, I only call her when she's doing something I can brag about. Then the laughter. The room went silent. My uncle stood up. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. He walked out. My father tried next. We can explain. No, you can't. You chose a vacation over my wedding. You called my office. You lied to family and friends. You tried to extort me. And for 12 years, you only showed up when I had something you could use. I stood. You're not paying the invoice, but you're done pretending I owe you anything. If you contact me, my workplace, or my spouse again, this folder goes to every single person you lied to. We're finished. My mother opened her mouth. Nothing came out. My father stood, grabbed the folder. They walked to the door. My mother turned once, looking for something. An opening. I didn't give her one. The door closed. For the first time in my life, I felt free. 2 weeks later, an email arrived. Subject, space, body. We'll respect your space. No apology. No acknowledgement. Just those 5 words. I archived it. I didn't reply. Over the next few months, a few things happened. My uncle called privately. He apologized. Asked how he could help others in similar situations. He became the first donor to something my spouse and I had been talking about for a while. We launched a small nonprofit, the Chosen Family Foundation. We fund therapy grants for adults navigating family estrangement. No red tape. No judgment. Just access. 12 grants in the first year. Some extended family reached out quietly. A couple of cousins apologized. Others just faded. I didn't chase anyone. The Bentley? I sold it about a year later. The attention wasn't worth it. The comments. The assumptions. I bought a reliable sedan and invested the difference. Therapy continued. Twice a month. Sometimes more. I grieved the parents I needed. I accepted the ones I had. And I moved forward. One night, my spouse looked at me over dinner and said, "You're lighter now." They were right. I'd stopped carrying people who wouldn't carry me. The invoice was never about money. It was about truth. And truth, it turns out, is the only receipt that really matters. Here's what I want you to hear. You don't owe anyone access to your peace, not even if they share your blood. Boundaries aren't cruel. They're necessary. And sometimes, the family you choose is the one that actually shows up. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had to set a boundary that felt impossible? Maybe with a parent, a sibling, someone you thought you couldn't say no to? Drop your story in the comments. You're not alone in this. And if you're building your own family on your terms, the people who actually show up, who see you, who stay, hit that subscribe button. This channel is for all of us who had to learn that love isn't supposed to come with conditions. Thank you for listening. And remember, this is a fictionalized dramatization for educational and entertainment purposes. It is not legal or financial advice. Always consult a licensed professional for your specific situation. I'll see you in the next one.